Mary. Stand for prayer, please.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, come thanking for just being with all of us and just watch over us tonight, dear Lord, and just give us wisdom as we work through this city business, and just let us have a clear mind and just be with each of us. Amen.
Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here. Here.
Here.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate being here. First thing you've got is consent agenda. I'd like to amend the agenda before we agree to that. We had the last second, before, our attorney was leaving for a trip real quick. She finally got us some paperwork that was a little bit tight in getting it in to get our package in time, to put it in the notice Friday. So all it is some bills, bill number 1376, 1377, 1378, 1379, and those will read to you. It won't be a surprise. It's just stuff that we needed to get out of the way, and she didn't get it done in time to get the package to give us notice. But also, I had just received a bid yesterday, that I'd like to review with the board on pump station. And also the streets, we were working on street grants in the past, and we had agreed to go for it last spring, and I'd like to review it with you guys and refresh your memory, because two of the board members were not on board at that time. So I'd like to review RFQ for the street grants with you too. So I'd like to amend it for those 6 things. Has questions on the bills, minutes, or report on the reports?
What was, I noticed here, and maybe need to get up to speed on it, but we had some huge checks go out to Myrtle. What was all that? There was
Those were,
100 and some,
the monthly bills, they were ones that hadn't been previously paid, so
Okay.
they were getting caught up and didn't pay the August bill.
so is that gonna be something that will go down next month?
It will not continue, it'll be about the same amount, but it won't be that many all at once.
Okay.
How far back was it not paid?
A while. I don't know the exact month that it was, I have it in my office, but it was several months ago.
Why?
It just hadn't been paid.
As she finds things, correct it as we go. Basically the same thing we're doing for 2 years. Almost 2 years now.
Then we have a way to keep that from happening again.
Absolutely.
Good point.
And there is a very large one, because it's once a year that one comes out. It's like $100,000. That's the great big one that comes out the first part of July. So I know that one was probably in this. I don't know if it was or not, but I know that those others were the ones that were. But no, that won't happen. You won't see that next time.
Stella Jones, $13,395.
What page are you looking at?
Page 3. Transaction.
Let me look.
It says right above there, it says wrong vendor name. Does that help?
I can message Kelly and ask her who that is, because I don't know. She pays all those invoices. I can make a message and,
That would be great.
okay, I'll just send her.
again, I don't want to interrupt you guys, but I got one, apologize a lot. I forgot one more thing to add under new business, and that is to reappoint our bond counsel. We need that for our grant that we're working on right now.
Reappoint what?
Our bond counsel, attorney for the bonds for the sewer project. But that, I'll put that under new business as well on the agenda. They're our bond counsel for previous.
And I'm assuming that these here are all because of
Yes.
I thought it was, but I thought it was.
Which is soon to go down, because I know the police chief has good news about hiring, so we're doing good there.
I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Motion by Stephen,
I second.
second by Brenda. Any further discussion? Roll call vote,
Aye.
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 all in favor? Old business, chamber to give update.
I guess it's me today, so, you guys kind of already know what the chamber is up to, I think. Nothing much has changed. We had our luncheon today, which we typically are now doing on the day of the city council meeting. We had Ryan Chow and Lena Thorpe in there talking about the things that are going on in school, which was awesome. Robert McCullough was there talking about the events coming up next year for the Bob Nelson Festival and the Eclipse and things like that. So had a good luncheon. Most of this month, I believe Tabitha is going to really be pushing hard to get the remaining memberships in. We're about 92% right now compared to last year, and I expect we'll probably get quite a bit more in the next few weeks. So she's making rounds, talking to some people, and she knows that there's some folks that are planning on coming in, just haven't yet. So I think we'll probably exceed last year's membership, so that's going pretty good. We are also pushing real hard for Pioneer Days, so we've got applications coming in for that. So we're starting to see a steady stream of interested vendors that are coming in for that, and people that are going to be participating in that at the end of September. We're donating the supplies, donating for the back-to-school kickoff, so we're donating for that. We're also going to have a booth or something out there and give away some, I guess, gift cards for school clothing, things like that that kids might need. I'm not sure exactly what type of cards those are, if they're specifically for clothing or whatnot, but Tabitha has a handle on that right now. Tabitha's also looking at doing some kind of meal or barbecue or something after homecoming to coincide with a parade or something we've got going on. So she's going to talk to the schools about exactly how that might work. If we're able to do something like that, we want to do that. The Ozark Small Business Incubator is going to be out in November on the 7th to do a seminar to kind of show people if they're interested in starting a business, what's involved, how to obtain grants, financing, how to write a business plan, that kind of thing. So people that might be interested in starting a business or maybe are already in the process of it, it'll be a good opportunity for them to come in. They're going to do that from 2 o'clock to 4:30 in November on the 7th. Financially, we're doing fine. We're up a little bit in our bank account, so that's always good. Tabitha is doing a great job as far as I'm concerned. She's got, if you haven't seen them and are not receiving them, you should ask her about it, but we've got Mountain View Chamber updates that she's sending out via email. So she's got information in there about not just what we're doing at the chamber, but what all the other folks are doing in town, like the Betterment Committee, some of the things that Pool's doing, things like that. So if anyone wants to get on there, just all they got to do is shoot Tabitha an email or a text or something. She'll make sure she updates this, and this is coming out monthly, so it's actually pretty good. I'm glad to see that. And that is about it. So I think everything's going pretty good. She's staying busy. She's working out, talking to her business owner. She's doing a lot of sharing on Facebook and things like that. And the response to that seems really good.
Thank you very much.
And in recognition of the Mountain View Community Center, the City of Mountain View, Missouri, and the Chamber of Commerce, they wanted to present you all from the CGMA with a plaque of recognition of excellence.
Thank you. Always happy to do stuff like that for the community. Anything like that, especially that brings in so many people. But you guys have any questions?
Thank you. Pool managers to give update. Wait till you go swimming.
Well, there's water in the deep end right now, but you might not want to be in it.
All right, so I'm gonna pass out a packet to you guys.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, take another one. All right, we are coming to you guys today just to let you guys know what's going on at the pool, such as just things that are still continuing to need to get done. So I did provide packets for you of a list of everything that still needs to be done and stuff that we have already gotten done. I do have. Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, I got some pictures, I got them all labeled of everything that has, such as good things and still things that need to be fixed. So that way you guys can visually see what's going on at the pool.
Most of what needs to still be done is just like beyond our scope of expertise. So gonna have to have some mans somewhere.
Are you looking for volunteers, hiring subcontractors, or in-house?
Probably
city?
mainly volunteers, or like if there's a lull in things that the city guys are doing, if they have the opportunity.
The only reason why we would love to accept volunteers, but we don't want them, it's hazardous kind of out there, so we don't want them
We
to
would have to be
fall
really
and hurt,
careful.
and we would have to really monitor them being there. But a lot of our things that are needing to be done are going to take a little bit more of a higher hand.
Eddie, I know you've got help from the court every now and then, and as well as what about the boys on Elm Street?
That's a very good.
That is a good idea.
And, you know, once we get all the concrete and everything done around the pool, it won't be near as hazardous.
Right.
Bringing in volunteers and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, more than likely we're gonna have quite a bit of off-season time.
I feel like we actually left on to one of them that was helping him last week, had quite a bit of expertise. He's the one that did our cabinetry in the concession stand.
Yeah.
So that was very helpful.
This is good.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't plan on that many, but I just wanted to show you guys visibly what's going on there, down there.
Almost performing miracles from what it was.
Yes. Yes.
so I've got a question, I guess, for all of us. We're looking at quite a bit of work done here, and we've got 2-3 weeks left. So is this a pipe dream that this pool's gonna open this year? I don't think it's gonna happen.
Like, yeah, no, we've already lost our lifeguards to other jobs.
Yeah.
No, we will not be open this year.
Where are we at on completion on that study?
Right now, the next step is a deck drain and pour the concrete between the drain and the coping, and that's scheduled to hopefully start Monday.
Okay.
And I've talked to Steve, I think his name was Hines. Talked to him, kind of scheduled a timeline for them to come in and do the plaster. They won't do the plaster until the concrete is poured between the deck drain and the coping. And once that's complete, they can jump in, do their plaster, finish that out, and then finish up the pump room, and then they're done. And, I mean, even, once that's done, then the scope of the project for the grant is complete. We can submit for the rest of our reimbursable, and then we can close that project out. But there's still quite a bit of work to be done around the pool. I know you all have seen it. Looking at what has been spent on that pool, to open it with the concrete in the shape that it's in, I think would be a bad idea. You've taken into consideration what's been spent and what it would cost to finish all the concrete for the decking is minute compared to the rest, the money that's been put in the project so far. So,
Not only that, dangerous.
it would, really, it would, I mean, it would be a hazard. All it takes is one person to trip on a crack, with uneven concrete, and it'll cost a whole lot more than it would to just
To
redo
just finish the
concrete.
concrete, yes.
And that's what we're wanting to do. We just want to provide a safe and sanitized environment for those kids. And if we can't provide that, I know that we're going to take the hate of it not being open, which is okay, but I'd rather not see kids being hurt, is my biggest thing.
I would rather take the heat for not being open than take the heat from a mom that
Is
something
very
happened to
upset.
the child.
I think maybe if you wait till next year,
And then do
have
it
a great,
big.
huge,
Yes.
gigantic grand opening and
That's our goal.
celebrate hopefully something new with the baseball field and.
Yes.
Right, and
the
just
school
incorporate a
and
lot of things
all of
together,
it
yes.
together.
I
I
agree.
could see wonderful things happening, and we could have like all kinds of fundraisers going, not the
Yes.
city, but,
Yes.
other entities.
But the
having
other
fun.
entities. Agreed.
Also the extra outside work you've been doing with this, I'll call them splash pad downtown, et cetera. That's good, that fills in, helps out. Appreciate
We had a
that.
really good turnout last year.
Yeah.
Friday was good.
We're probably thinking about doing more of those things, just
Great.
to bring the community together. That way people have somewhere to go, especially with their kids. So.
This is good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think if you get a hold of the.
Care minister, care center.
I think that's a really good idea. Probably work something out with them on their downtime, that maybe they come over and paint the pump house and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just the little things to help us out, but we're just wanting to hit the big things at this moment, so.
Had compliments on your downtown thing already.
Oh, good, yes, thank you.
Here's your
Great.
photo, here's your photos.
Thank you. I'll put those in our folder. Thank you.
Scrapbook.
All right.
Before and afters.
Yes.
I do have before and afters, and I would like to post those on our Facebook as well, when everything is more put together and complete, so. Thank you guys. Do you guys have any questions?
Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
I know you're too hard at it.
And I have a question.
Yes.
So all this work that's been done there, the painting and all this hard work, you guys have done this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The flooring, well, not the flooring, just bringing somebody in to be able to do the flooring. That way we're not having to spend so much time painting the floor over and over and over again. But it's going to guarantee the pool because it's not going to grow bacteria and stuff like that on it as well. So, like I said, to create a safe and sanitary place for everybody is going to be amazing. We would also like to do that future-wise in the bathrooms and in the shower rooms as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that you guys have went beyond your job descriptions.
Yeah.
And I really feel like maybe we need to talk about as a council on, I don't know what your wages are.
Like the rest of the city, about all over.
Okay.
I mean, we can discuss that.
We can do that
like,
later.
at a later
That's just
time,
an
but
idea that
yes.
I had, because I know I've seen things and I see the list of stuff that you guys have done and the things that need to be done and
And Brenda has a good point. Normally the pool closes, I'll say September sometime, et cetera. No doubt you both can be still working past that on the
Correct.
pool stuff.
Yes.
And in the spring before it opens way down.
Yes, and I would like to try to hit about March to start getting it going. Then we can do free registration passes as well during that time. Also to be able to get like our inventory and making sure that everything is ready to go during that time as well. So,
The board can discuss what we agreed to for the summer is one thing. And
Okay.
now we can talk about the winter
that
project.
is what I.
Yeah.
sounds perfect. All right, any more questions you guys have? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Robin McCullough, update on Buck Nelson.
Well, before we get there,
Oh.
4:30 in the morning is not the time to step in a pile of grease, take home a greasy door handle. We need to have, I don't know who has or what happened to them. There used to be rules when people rented the community center. You found it with trash bags in the trash cans. You were to replace those at your cost. The trash was supposed to be taken out to the dumpster. I'm all for doing benefits for anybody and everybody. I think I've already proved that in this town. But this morning, they had fried outside. When we fried a couple of years ago, we were told we were not allowed to cook underneath the awning of the community center, that we had to put out a tent out in the parking lot and cook out there. Now, I know one time it was raining and we put down a bunch of cardboard. Well, that hasn't been done. You got 3 rugs down there that, I don't know if Eddie can power wash or deep grease or what. But there needs to be some kind of structured rental agreement because
There's a cleaning deposit, which neither of those people will be getting their cleaning deposits back.
but $60 is not even going to cover the man. And you have 2 churches that showed up there Sunday morning to use the building, and Mr. Dwayne Terry wouldn't say anything bad about anybody, and he was just like, it was pretty bad. So, I have purchased myself a brand new microwave for the community center, because the one that was in there 4 or 5 years ago, the dish and this disappeared. And when we went over to the thrift store and bought one, but it never really fit. So if you reached in there to get something hot, it would slide around. So I purchased myself a new microwave, and I've got a brand new deep fryer there. The grills are usually cleaned and ready for anybody to use. The dishwasher is usable, but the garbage disposal is not. The last 4 times I've been in there to do anything, I have literally had to take my hand, whoever is pouring any kind of mop water, down the sink. It's gross. Hair, sausage, even a church group had a concessions during a craft thing. And I go in there and it's not draining. It's sausage bits all in there. So you have to dig that all out by hand because it's not working. So what do we have to do to get the city to put a garbage disposal in there?
Request it.
I'm requesting a garbage disposal. So, that's an end of that. But if you are on the Facebook Buck Nelson Festival group, you got a hot off the press announcement yesterday. People were asking what is going on, when is this going to be, and what's happening. We have been contacted by MUFON. When I talked to the Missouri Tourism last week, they are estimating no more than 50,000 people to come through the town of Mountain View. in that 3-day weekend. We have hotels as far as Farmington, Eminence, Poplar Bluff, all this stuff is booking up.
Campgrounds. they're all full.
Yeah, they're full. They're full already.
We have groups coming out of Kansas and other states, 9, 10 more people, just for this event.
Yeah.
On Friday, it will start, the youth center will have a Space Jam skate party. We will have the art show set up in the STEAM class at the community center. I talked to Ty this morning, he's out of town, of course, learning stuff for the golf course. He is very interested in having some kind of cosmic or galaxy golf tournament, because if we can get the husbands into town golfing, then the wives will come to the craft show. The youth center will be filled on Saturday from 8 to 2 with craft vendors for this Out of the World craft show. Saturday evening, there will be adult dance and gala. We are going to be providing a service for the kids. We can't call it babysitting because but the kids can come and be dropped off and watched a movie under supervision. And then Sunday, we will have the art show. Sunday night, we are going to have a glow run. So there's going to be a glow run. The chamber is going to take care of the glow run, and the chamber is actually taking care of the adult dance. They will just give us some of their couple fee for the fundraiser. And then we will have, on Monday, there's food vendors, street vendors, there's going to be a cosmic light show, costume contest, of course, the parade. We have several guest speakers coming. We did not contact MUFON. MUFON contacted us. And I don't know if you know who that is or not, but that is the UFO people of UFOs, so.
There's a group in every state, and they take reports of sightings and different things, but they also have a lot of historical things, and they have a lot of information about Buck that they want to share with our community. So we think that's a great thing. I've also been in contact with an astronaut who's planning to come to town and also be a guest speaker, so that's really super cool, especially for the kids. It's really turned into a big thing, and we've kind of held off on getting sponsors and other things because there are other events going on in town before the end of the year, and we don't want to take away from those. So we're approaching our sponsors as you can sign up now and pay later. It's $100. It's affordable for everyone that wants to sponsor and be involved.
What came out in the hot off the press was our goal is to reach members of the community of Mountain View and surrounding areas. I have contacted Summersville and some of the other schools if they want to be involved in the art show. They're welcome to do that, and of course invite them to put things in the parades. And even as we speak now, everything is just constantly evolving. Our only goal for this is to raise funds for the youth soccer, the youth sports, and the youth center. And we hope that people will have a fun time. And we release that we are excited to highlight this. You know, we're in the center of people going to the water, to Van Buren, to Eminence. And I've approached a couple of businesses that are not normally open on Mondays. And I've been like, well, we're not open on Mondays, so we're not going to be open on Monday. I don't understand that as a former business owner. Why, if you have an opportunity, that you would not cash in on that. But all I know is that the city of Mountain View, I think we're gonna have to probably get some porta potties. I don't think we're going to be able to handle the influx of people just with what we have. I don't think we can overrun Signal and Casey's and the community center. I don't think the plumbing will handle that. So at some point, we're going to have to look at probably some porta potties.
We do have some flyers. We haven't got them printed in color. We really want you to see them in color because they're super cool. And we will have an agenda as we get closer to the event, and we will bring that information and share it with you as well. Any questions?
I just have a comment. I told you that letter I gave you from Mom that it was a Crazy Cabins. It wasn't. There used to be a gas station right down here on the corner. That could have been a restaurant. It was a gas station restaurant. That's where Mom met him.
Do you know what the name of it was?
know, but Piper, Niall Piper, his mom and dad, I think they used to own it, or maybe their parents owned it or something.
Jeremy Burks will probably know.
Yes, he would know.
That's been really cool, and we have had people stop by the office and ask to see the book and ask to see the letter, and,
We
because
have
it's on
people
there.
sharing testimonies from things that they did on Buck's property,
Well, my
so.
mom said she would go to the story time.
Good.
That's wonderful, and I think Judy Carnegie says she won't come talk herself, but she'll send something for somebody to read, so I think that's cool that was her and Blaine's first date, and they've been married 63 years, so.
And we are also working on music and stand-up comedy, so there's something for everyone.
If anybody knows of a bluegrass band, we're looking hard, so.
Strickland.
Oh, and our next meeting is next Thursday night, the 17th at 5:30 at the youth center. Anyone is welcome to come. We want anyone that wants to be involved.
Thank you.
And noteworthy is Robin was spearheaded that entire thing at the Country Gospel Music Awards last night.
That was awesome.
Let me tell you, I was firsthand, I went there, and she did a really good job. That was really well organized.
We all need to give Robin a hand for what she did with the country music.
Putting that up with almost everybody there, including the founder of the, whatever you call that whole organization. It's over 8,000 in that organization. They're very impressed with not only Robin, but the entire town of Mountain View. They're very happy here. They said we accommodated them very well and very friendly. Worked out really well. Okay. Bill 1372 to become a resolution. Resolution authorizing the mayor to the city of Mountain View to sign documents to apply for USDA grant for purchase of police vehicle, second reading. If you could give us a reading, please.
This is the second reading on this one, there's a brief highlights of it. A resolution of the city of Mountain View, Missouri concerning acceptance and compliance with various requirements to obtain financial assistance from the United States of America, acting through the United States Department of Agricultural Rural Development. Be it resolved by the City Council of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. Section 1, definitions. Section 2, certifications. Section 3, miscellaneous provisions. Section 4, notice to applicant. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
So second reading should be there.
It's in there.
It was in the last packet.
We don't
This
have
is
one for this one.
second reading. I thought you guys would keep them, so it was the first one. I need to make
We
sure
can
this one-
read that. But here's what she just read. Anybody have questions? Because she has it in front of her. Do you have?
Yes.
Yeah. You have questions? She has it in front of her.
What is it, 13?
1372, resolution 23-0711.
I make a motion that we accept Bill 1372, 23-0711.
I'll second this.
Okay. Now we can discuss.
Questions? Discussion?
This is the grant that your guy brought forward.
Correct.
To us, okay. No, I think this is really cool. We definitely should move forward on this. I just was trying to confirm that that's what it was.
Very good. Any further questions? Vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes. Bill 1373 to become ordinance 1742 regarding electric rates, second reading.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View. Whereas the city of Mountain View currently uses a tiered rate system to determine electric rates, which allows customers to pay less per kilowatt for using more, and whereas the city of Mountain View, Missouri engaged in an electrical rate study which found the tiered rate system being used by the city to calculate the charge to customers did not match with the cost expended by the city to purchase power from MPUA. And whereas the rate study indicated a consumer rate system based on the actual cost to the city for purchasing power and reflecting that higher kilowatt usage in the higher cost would be beneficial to the city and be more fair to customers. And whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the city council for the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that section 69.830 of the city code of ordinances be amended by adding paragraph 7 as follows. Chapter 69, utilities, subchapter C, electricity, section 69.830, electrical rates. Number 7, in addition to the above minimum and other listed compensation, the city of Mountain View, Missouri shall collect a purchase power adjustment on the sale of each kilowatt to each customer for each 1 cent increase or decrease or major fraction thereof in the city's monthly cost of purchase power of 0.07 cents per kilowatt in the most recent 3 months preceding the billing period. There shall be correspondingly added to or subtracted from each customer's bill an amount equal to 1 cent or major fraction thereof per kilowatt times the total kilowatt bill to the customers on all above rates.
I'll make a motion that we accept Bill 1373, ordinance 1742.
Second.
Second.
Second. Discussion.
We need to ask the public, because they have several calls and ask about that.
I think they need, I think it needs to be clarified.
Well, that's, yeah, the whole purpose of these readings, our first reading and second reading now, today is our second reading, previous meeting was our first, so that you, the public, is made aware of it. And if you have questions, that's fine, you can ask. The present electrical rates are tiered and not in favor of the smaller user. They're in favor of the large user. And we don't even have that many big, large users here that are taking advantage of it anyway, but it balances it out to where the small small users, the mom and pops or the small businesses or the homes that aren't using a whole lot of power, are paying equal to the people that are paying more, instead of the other way around. Because it got, the more you used the old rates, the cheaper it got. And I mean, it go more way up there for the bigger and bigger. And that wasn't fair. So we're making it more fair across the board for everybody. And then the second part of that makes it more fair for the city. We're trying to adjust our expenditures month to month, and our purchasing, when we're purchasing power, it can go up like this. You know, we don't know what's going on in Texas or Mexico or wherever, New Mexico, not Mexico, but our power rates vary so much that it levels it out. It takes a 3-month average and then just adds our factor to it. Instead, before, if we all of a sudden had a big spike, which we have, for 2 or 3 months straight, the city's over there, whoa, we can't spend any money. We're not bringing in any utilities this month. We just spent $500,000 on electricity, and we only billed for $340,000. We need to take $150,000 and make up the difference quick. And that was just crazy. We couldn't do it. We don't have a big buffer at the city in our coffers. So now it just makes it to where it levels it out. We can't get those huge spikes all of a sudden. And if you need further explanation, I'm sure Eddie can help.
No questions? I like that.
Okay. Any more questions from us? Vote.
Aye.
Passes. It's a definite plus for everybody.
When will we see that?
Pardon?
That will take effect this month on this bill. Like August, so whenever you get the bill in September, that's when it will take effect.
And the next bill will be 1379, resolution 2308-0801.
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, city to sign a mutual release in order to release all parties from the contract between the city of Mountain View, Missouri and Steve Arnold, which was authorized by a previous resolution. Whereas the city of Mountain View, Missouri previously entered into a contract with Steve Arnold, which obligated city to provide utilities to a specific piece of property owned by Arnold, as well as obligating Arnold to place a livable structure on said property. And whereas Arnold has now sold said property without having placed a structure or utilities being provided, and whereas the new owners of said property do not intend to place a structure on the property and have no need for utilities. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that Mayor John Krasuski is directed to sign a mutual release on behalf of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, in order to release all parties from the contract previously entered into by the city and Steve Arnold, which was, and I don't have that previous resolution, but it will be on the next reading. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect as of this date of its passage.
Oh, resolution number, right here, 23080801, because we have a second one on the same. That's the first reading of it.
I make a motion that we accept bill number 1379, resolution 23-08-08-01.
Motion, second.
Second.
Second, discussion. You guys remember what the contract was?
No, we don't have any utilities at all to that road.
We have electric there and water already, but we're.
No, sir.
And we're capping them off. They want nothing.
Okay.
So previous owner was wanting them, now the new owner doesn't, and they want nothing to do with it. So we agreed that we would cap it off. Shut it down.
It's nice to be finally through that.
Yes.
That was a
Probably
mess.
took 3 years, oh, more.
Pushing 6.
6 years. Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Passes. And then, I just need you guys, to refresh you guys up on the RFQ for streets. It was brought up, remember, I could get it backwards. Was it the Jack Sport Community Foundation? Okay, Jack Sport Community Foundation agreed that if we applied for the street grants, which we didn't have extra money to apply for because it took a $25,000 copay, that they would pay that if we applied for it, and it would, to where we could apply for it this fall. We agreed to this back in January or February, which was the old board. And now we have time, the timeliness is here, it's time to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that with your consent. Just wanted you guys to have our blessing. I don't know that we need a resolution at this time because we're merely going out for a request for qualifications from the engineers. And by that, we can get the engineers that, we have 2 that are presently working on our streets. One that already has a job, Toth Engineering of Oak Street. They can build it right into their job, and I'm not gonna say the engineering will cost us 0, but that'd be the best deal you could get, is they're already on our streets, and they can check out ours for the grant, for the street grant. So with that, I want you to just say it's okay with me, but for you guys, that I go ahead, request that, get it started, as previously approved.
I'd like to move forward with
Yeah, I would too,
it. It's something we need.
Just unanimous decision, whether that's good.
especially if they're gonna put front the money, so.
Right. Okay. Old business. I think that does it for old business. New business. Assistant Superintendent Ryan Chowning to discuss city baseball field.
I want to thank you all for letting me be here tonight. I've got a copy of the proposal. I just started in July. No one was there this time. I'll read part of it and then I'll discuss and answer any questions. So the summary basically says, Mountain View Birch Tree R3 School District would like to enter into an agreement with the City of Mountain View in regards to the Herb Henry baseball field. The proposal would be a 20-year lease in exchange for $1. The terms of the lease would be that the field would remain a public facility as it has always been, but the Mountain View Birch Tree School District would take over all maintenance and upkeep of the facility, along with drafting any pertinent rules to protect the facility, just as we have done for the football complex. So if any of you guys have been to the baseball field in the last few years, there are some pretty substantial improvements that need to be made.
No, it's embarrassing, is
Yeah.
what it is.
The bleachers are a true liability. And I know from a school standpoint, we're at the point where we've got to do something, or we have to start looking to figure out a different venue to play games, because, you know, we have teams come in from out of town, and in turn, we go to those other teams that have, when we play games at their place, and their facilities are, you know, a lot of times substantially better than ours. So, that being said, I met with John and just discussed the idea of, and so I just started my new job on July 1. So part of what I'm going to be over are all the building and grounds projects and so on. But in order to be, you know, a good steward of the patrons' taxpayers' money, I can't in good conscience speak for the school district and put money into a facility that we don't have any agreement in. So this is just an opportunity for the school to benefit, the city to benefit. I mentioned in their bleachers, we've just got some approximate costs for some options that our new athletic director helped me come up with. Lights, there's currently a wire that goes across the field that is not real fantastic to look at, but after talking with Eddie, he said it's better to be there, because without it, you don't have any lights at all, because that would, so it's an integral part of the light system working as it is. So that's another potential project that we're looking at, is a new light system. I mean, obviously this would be, you know, the stuff that we're looking at is over the course of the 20 years. We're not gonna go in and fix everything overnight. But things like the liability with the bleachers, you know, that would be something that would be an immediate fix. That would be something we would be looking to allocate some money toward. Fencing, I went on and mentioned several things. Drainage, backstop padding, extending and finishing the dugouts, to add proper seating for home and away guests. There is a storage building to the east of the home dugout that's kind of an eyesore. It's kind of, the plans that we would potentially have would hopefully just alleviate the need for that altogether. We would add some storage in other places. And like I was telling John when we met, you know, at this point during this baseball season, the city hasn't taken care of the baseball field, but neither has the school. Our high school baseball coach is bringing his mower and doing it on his own time, unbeknownst to anybody. You know, all any of us knew is that we drive by and it had been mowed. So,
My son-in-law actually built, with the help of Chester, the batting cage
yeah,
and all that on it, you know, that came
Yeah.
out of their pockets.
yeah,
And he just asked them to keep it up.
yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of good possibilities
There are.
for that field.
And I mentioned here, and I'll just read this to you, these are just some of the benefits. So, benefits of the agreement between the City of Mountain View and the Mountain View Birch Street School District will be great for both parties. Our new athletic and activities director is already planning a wood bat baseball tournament, which will bring many schools to our area to patronize our businesses. With some upgrades, we would be able to host more events, plus the potential of being able to be a host site for district games, SCA games, which is the conference at our schools association, which would then provide an economic stimulus for our businesses. And how that works as far as the games, like as far as who hosts district, the coaches vote on that. And they vote to play at the facilities that are the most accommodating for fans and for players. You know, this would be an opportunity for the patrons of the city of Mountain View to benefit financially from having all these other games that are not on the schedule, but if our facility became up to par, would allow us to host those games and allow us to get those votes to do that. So it's something that I don't see a loser in this idea. This is something where everybody involved wins. The school district benefits, the city benefits, and we want to continue to work hand in hand with you guys and continue to make everything as positive as we can. Can I answer any questions about?
Is there a thought of changing the name of the park or adding to the name?
Absolutely not, no. We have no intentions of changing the name of the park. Actually, John and I discussed that today. That's not in, no, not at all.
I just wondered.
Yeah. I don't know why, I don't know the history.
It used to be Sandy Coulter Field.
Okay, see, it was Herb Henry when I was a child, and that's as far back as I knew, so.
He actually donated the land, that's what I was told, and then that's why they changed the name.
Okay. That's more than what you and I discussed at lunch, we weren't sure.
Well, it still beats the Chowning-Krasuski part.
Yeah, there you go. That was our initial idea, right? Any questions from anybody?
I'm glad to see you guys are looking up. I know that wood bat tournament, they have one of those at Van Buren, and
Yeah.
it brings in a lot of people. You
So,
don't realize how much it brings into the community, but
Yeah.
they are very active in the wood, like that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the summer league stuff, it's
Yeah.
amazing how much good.
so our new athletic director came to us from Van Buren. So he was, J.C. Hoagland is his name.
Yep.
He was the one that has been organizing it. He did the same thing in Eminence
Yep.
as well. So he has some big plans for all of the activities. I won't let the cat out of his bag yet, but he's got some really productive and positive and great things planned for all the activities department, so.
So
This.
would you be against, like I was talking about with the pool, like having, I suggested that the city workers play against, like maybe the school, to raise money?
It would be a matter of, so when you get into stuff like that with Misha, they have, if they are an in-season athlete, it gets real tricky, and if they're an out-of-season athlete.
Well, no, I just
So,
think the coaches, not
Oh.
the students.
no, so it would still be a city-owned park. Basically, what John and I discussed is, if we make improvements to the field, and we would then develop appropriate rules for what could happen. It's kind of like the sign that hangs on the fence at the football field. We don't want dirt bikes sitting on the track that, has been thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's just, it would still remain absolutely, city property. It would just, we would just be the kind of the overseers. So yeah, that would be, I'd love to volunteer Coach Chester for that, as a matter of fact. Mike, you put that on.
I volunteered anywhere.
I
John?
want to be on Reese's team.
Not sure if we need an ordinance, but we might.
But we'll have it for the next meeting.
We'll have to draw up an ordinance for that, so.
But it sounds promising.
This went through, just so you guys are aware, before I came to you, before I could get with John and come to you guys, this went through the school board and was equally as popular. So this is something that seems to be a highly sought after idea from all sides of the table. So like I said, I don't see any losers, it's something everybody involved with.
There's a former player down there, that baseball field needs some attention.
Yeah,
And it's not changed, it's changed some, but
yeah.
it'd be nice to have a good facility.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Yep, I just want to be able to, with confidence, go to our school board and our people and saying, if we're gonna use taxpayer dollars, we need to at least be able to say for 20 years, this is gonna be, we're gonna have some control over what is happening there versus just putting money into something that we could possibly lose.
Do you guys have a question for Ryan, or?
As a member of the Mountain View Family Youth Center, our organization uses the baseball and the softball field for the kids' activities. We also utilize the concession stand as part of our fundraising efforts. So if possible, could we be included in some of the discussion
Sure.
about?
Yeah, so Robin and I actually discussed this at lunch today. So the youth center has been involved with the middle school
We've done all the
baseball
middle school concessions.
but not the high school
And at
concessions.
the softball field, we do
Right.
everything,
Right,
period.
but as far as the baseball field, you guys have had middle school and high school.
And we've never had a problem
Yes.
sharing with
So-
the high school people.
I just wanted to be on record that we have a little bit of input and
Yeah. we
at
can
least be
definitely-
in the loop.
Definitely have a seat at the table to.
I mean, it is kind of, and I don't know how many of you even know that the youth center, we could not host the tournament in January because there was not enough seating. So Misha, requires this amount of seating. So some friends of ours came down on a Thanksgiving weekend, spent the weekend at the church up here, and tore out all this, there's no longer a stage there, it's all seating for that, so, I mean, they have their rules, and it's really worked good for the youth center to be a part of that.
He had a question about
Who would actually be in control of that? The school or the city
Of what?
of the field?
Of the field itself?
Yeah, what if 30 or 40 families got together and wanted to have a baseball game? Whose permission do they get? Yours or the city's?
It would be,
Doesn't interfere.
right, it would just be if it was outside of any middle school or a high school baseball season, then it would be up for grabs.
There's a difference between season and game.
They would have precedence.
What I'm saying is, a season goes 5 or 6 months, but you might only have 10 games in that 5 or 6 months. So season is different than a scheduled game.
So you talk to who schedules the games and let them.
So is City Hall gonna have a copy of the schedule out there?
So with any of the facilities, it's all done through our athletic director. So that would be something that you would get with us at the school through the athletic director to see what is going on.
So it's actually the school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same as the football field.
Is it the same as it's always been?
Well, the difference is, the city doesn't
Yeah,
own the
there's never
football
been
field.
a conflict that I'm aware of. And
I don't know of
And
any.
is there any objection to a co-ed softball team being played on that?
No, you can play it on the softball field.
they already have co-ed softball.
We have an adult league that has been awesome. In fact, there was people wanting to sign up and wanting it to go longer.
Yeah,
But
that's
actually,
That's
and
already happened, and in fact, 10 years ago, there was a men's league and a co-ed softball league that took place in the softball field. But we're talking about two different places. We're talking about the softball complex. I'm talking about the baseball field that's across from the pool.
Yeah,
Nothing was
That's
changing
all
in
we're
the
leasing.
softball complex.
that's all we're leasing out is the
Yeah.
baseball field.
Yeah.
Very good. You guys just all in agreement that we get it drafted up? Yeah. We'll do that. And Sue, you'll just probably do the vote at the next meeting. If you could be at the next meeting, it'd be good just in case we come up with questions during the resolution process.
I'd like to.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you very much. Bill 1374.
A resolution authorizing the city treasurer, Kelly Potts, of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, city to sign a request for Simmons Bank to increase the city of Mountain View's credit card limit. Whereas the city of Mountain View, Missouri currently has a credit card with Simmons Bank, and whereas rising costs for training and expenses have made the current limit of said credit card inadequate to meet the needs of the city. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that city treasurer Kelly Potts is directed to sign a request for Simmons Bank on behalf of the city of Mountain View, Missouri in order to increase the city's credit card limit. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effective as of its date of passage.
Motion?
Make a motion that we accept bill number 1374, resolution 230808.
Second?
Second.
Second, Linda. And discussion. Okay, what's the value now?
$12,500.
And we're asking to increase to what?
We'd like probably to 20. I mean, just whatever the bank will allow us. We just have to make the request. We have to have a resolution in place to make the request.
Can you elaborate on the need for it?
Well, we pay the card off every single month, so with many trainings, I know that the police department has officers that will go on trainings and things like that. Any of the guys come in and they need to make a purchase, if it's anything that's not just for Walmart or something online, those all get put on the credit card. And, you know, it's all one account, they're not separate accounts. I believe that's how it was like given to us in the beginning, that it was all separate accounts, like the police department had their own card, the city had one, Kelly has one, I have one, but it's all one account with one limit.
So it's several cards, but it's all one account.
Yes, it's all one account, it's all, I mean, they're all kept with Kelly's office, and the guys just completely, like, you know, as is needed, say you need to go on trainings, or, like I said, make any kind of purchases. So when you have several things happening in 1 month, our bill is automatically set to come out. Then if we have someone that goes on a training, our limit is, you know, if it's reached its limit, then we don't have the ability to be able to,
We've actually been stuck out in the field with people out there. Our credit card's maxed out already. Do something about it, help them out. Okay, pretty sticky. I won't blame the police department for all of it. but
I don't blame you.
got
I didn't
training.
look at it when I was saying that, because I love that.
Yeah, that's the handiest place for them when they're out training, just hand them the card and go get it done for the hotels and everything. So, and we need this resolution in order for the bank to allow us to.
And this is just the first reading of it, so there's like, just, the bank has to have something in place that shows that we actually, and I thought Julie would be easy since she is the treasurer, she does keep all the cards, she does the statements, she knows like the billing and everything like that. That she'd be the one to, be put on the resolution.
And it's paid off every month.
Yes,
anyway.
I think like the 24th or something like that, I think is whenever she has it set to pay. Also, to answer your question, those were power poles for the Jones. Kelly responded back to me and said it was power poles.
Any further questions?
I would not have either, but that was the answer to your question. So,
Now we're gonna vote.
you're welcome.
Aye.
That passes. Bill 1375 to become ordinance 1743. I believe this is the second reading.
First reading.
This is first reading?
Yes. Yes.
Started there.
An ordinance amending the criminal and traffic code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View. Whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the criminal and traffic code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen for the city of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. That chapter 70 of the criminal and traffic code ordinance be amended as follows. Chapter 70, fire departments. Subchapter A, general. 70.120, charges to non-members. Number 1, responses to rural fires and non-members will be billed to the party responsible for starting the fire. Should such party not be determined, the occupant of the property will then be billed. Should neither the party responsible for starting the fire nor the property occupant be determined, the property owner will then be held accountable for payment of the charges. Payment shall be due within 30 days from the date of mailing the statement. Number 2, in responding to emergencies of non-members and for non-subscribers, the Volunteer Fire Protection Association may charge up to the following fees. Number 1, $100 for responding to an emergency. Number 2, $500 for each hour or a proportional sum for each quarter hour spent in providing emergency services, plus 3, an amount equal to 1 year's subscription or membership fees. No property owner or individuals shall be liable for fees or charges under this subsection if said property owner or individual notifies the Volunteer Fire Protection Association in writing prior to the occurrence of an emergency, not to respond to an emergency on or involving his property. Number 3, upon payment of the charges and fees set forth in subsection 3 of this section, the property owner or individual shall be deemed to be a member or subscriber in good standing until membership or subscriber payments are again due as prescribed by association rules and regulations.
So what are the exact changes? We asked Jason this.
Yes.
Our fire
This,
chief.
this puts us compliant with the state ordinance of what they say we can charge, and it also allows us to break it down to a quarter hour. So right now, what's on the books is like a straight rate of $500 for a fire. And if we roll up to your brush fire and get it out in 10 minutes, that's still $500 versus whether we're at a house fire for several hours, and this kind of allows us to break our time down and charge accordingly as to what we're responding to.
I'll make a motion that we accept bill number 1375, ordinance 1743.
Second. Discussion, any more discussion, questions? Everybody clear enough on it?
What happens if that's arson? Or what happens if it's arson or something? It's not the property owner's actual, I mean, they're not burning trash, somebody else that's arson. Then what happens?
That will be determined by the fire investigation. So once we show up, we get the fire out, we'll start the investigation process. And if we can determine, like, if it was on your property and that you didn't start it and it was due to arson, normally you won't get a bill for that because it was an arson.
Okay.
was this checked around with the other fire departments to see what they charge around here?
This is a state ordinance that says what
I
is.
don't care about state ordinance, I care about what the rest charge.
So normally what they do is they'll use fire recovery fee based out of St. Louis. They're supposed to be emailing me their list, but normally they'll bill the insurance. Brush fires typically run $5,000 to $10,000. Vehicle wrecks normally run up to about $15,000, and house fires will run up to about $50,000 that would bill to the insurance.
And the insurance will pay $500 right off the top, I already know that, because I'm an insurance agent.
Yep.
So I don't understand why you want to charge all these other fees. It sounds to me like you already doubled the dues, which I don't understand that either. I could have understood it $20 because they hadn't been raised, but you doubled those, and I'm investigating that myself anyway. And I have a letter that has been sent to our representatives, and I'm going to do some calling myself and check in on it, because in my opinion, the economy sucks. And old people cannot pay $80 if they live out in the country to have you guys come put a fire out. I'm sorry. They do have insurance, most of them do. You hope. And $500 from an insurance company to pay for a fire, I understand, yes, sometimes you can be there for hours. I get that. And I do. But the economy really does, and you're gonna put old people where they can't afford to do anything. I don't know how your fee thing come out, how many people paid it this year. I can tell you, I wouldn't have paid it for my house and our business outside of town this year, but it was paid. But I wouldn't have, and I told Paula that, I wouldn't have paid it, because it doubled. I'm not paying, I'll let it burn before I'll pay it, sorry. I mean, I get the city needs money too, but you better start thinking about your old people that live here, because if you don't, you're not gonna have nobody living here. That's just a fact. And I don't know, Andrea, what does shelter pay?
It depends on the type of fire, the day, their fee, and what they pay based on the service provider.
That's what I figured. But that's all my 2 cents, sorry.
Thank you for your input. Anything else? Anybody else that? Unless you have further questions.
This here that you're billing this for is for non-members, right?
Yes,
Okay, so if you're a member, you don't get any of these charges.
that's right.
Okay.
So what does the member cost?
$80 a month.
$80 a
Oh,
year.
sorry, a month.
It's a year.
Sorry.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, for $80 a year, you don't have to worry about that $500 or $1,000 or anything along the way. We still have a couple more questions. At the very back, but make it quick.
On the back of your property tax thing, doesn't that break down to where there's a certain charge for some fire district?
If there's one that applies to your property.
Well, I get one, so why do I have to pay property taxes to support a fire department, and then pay a membership fee to support a fire department,
Is there a fee?
and then pay sales tax to support a fire department?
Is there a
Isn't
fee?
that kind of triple dipping the taxpayer?
Sounds like it, but I don't see that in front of me, so I don't know how to explain that.
Mountain View is not a fire protection district, tax based. Any of our district is not. Some of the surrounding, like Pomona, Howell Rural, are tax based.
Then why doesn't our city government stop the county from charging us a fire district tax if we don't live in a fire district?
I don't think they do.
They shouldn't be.
I don't think.
Well, I'll go get my tax bill and show you.
I'd like to see it. Yeah, or Jason, let Jason see it, that'd be fine. To make sure it's clear, that we're all clear on it, no problem. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the difference between billing the property owner or the property tenant.
Tenant was first.
Okay, because there's a lot of rentals, you know, and
Right.
even out in the country, there's a lot of rentals. And property owner, is the property owner responsible?
Tenant is first, held responsible first.
Okay.
So does the tenant pay the dues, or does the owner?
Good question. I like that.
Yeah.
As long as it gets paid, it gets paid. It's up to them.
But if the tenant doesn't pay dues and the owner does, and it falls on the tenant,
But
how
if the
does that
owner
work?
paid it, if they paid the
If
dues,
it's
then
paid upon the property, then there's no charge from it.
Whether it's a tenant or not?
Yeah. council to approve appointment of new planning and zoning members. What do we have there? Sarah, who do we have up?
According to the planning and zoning meeting, their minutes, they said there were some community members that were expressed in serving on the planning and zoning board. One was Karen Gaddy, one would be Jesse Henry. I believe maybe Ron Grape expressed interest, but I think maybe she told you, maybe not. And then I believe Calvin Perry had spoken to you this afternoon.
So we have three that are,
So is anybody from the planning and zoning here to?
I'm here, I'm the one that typed up the minutes.
and we have Calvin Perry, Karen Gaddy here. And who else? Who was the third one?
Jesse Henry.
Oh, Jesse Henry. Is there Jesse Henry here?
No one wrong.
Right.
I didn't know.
But we have three applicants then and two positions at this time. But we also wanted to have,
Correct, just two positions.
No, I thought it was because of the Mr. Hernandez.
he resigned.
He resigned.
Are we going for the 9 then? Because there would have only been 4.
So how many positions are you looking for?
I thought they wanted 9. That's something that,
Yeah,
I've never seen any regulations or guidelines yet.
I think it was 5 with 2 alternates,
Yeah, you just have to have at least an odd number.
because Murray was an alternate,
So
when it
so
started.
we can accept all three for now and make 2 the full-time and 1 a sub until we get another one to keep an odd number.
Well, it's listed in there who was in attendance and who was absent. So that makes 6, doesn't it?
There's 4. So you add 4, and then you have to have an odd number. So you either need to add 1 or you need to add all 3 of them.
Well, there was one that was absent. There were 4 of us there, 1 absent,
Okay, so 5.
and,
Technically, 2 were absent, but that one had
okay,
resigned.
that's true.
So you were currently at 5, right?
That's what the state dropped us, our minimum down to.
One resigned.
Oh, 18.
Yes, that's our minimum.
That's what we were
7
saying.
and 9 is what we.
Well, the whole thing is about a quorum. If you've got 5, then you're only gonna have 3 for a quorum. If you've got 9, then you're gonna have to have 5 for a quorum.
So what are we looking for right now? 5? No, 7.
Okay, there are 5 members now named, correct? Ozias, there's 5 named.
Yeah. So if we put on 2 full-time and 1 sub, that would help out.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what we were shooting for before, is having 2 alternate subs, just to make sure we get
Okay, so
one.
that- Because I don't know where the guide, or I suppose that there's guidelines for the planning and zoning board somewhere from the past.
We couldn't find them. When I left, we were gonna try and figure something out when I came up here instead of, and not being able to do that anymore. But we could not, Sarah and I looked for them, we couldn't find them.
Okay, so the planning and zoning board needs to meet and make some guidelines in, or used to, so.
Ask Murray, wasn't he an alternate? When Donnie set this up as 5 people and 2 alternates?
He
Donnie
was,
was the one that
he was
administered.
a representative from the board, but he couldn't make decisions on it, he couldn't
No,
influence
he
it.
might know where the regulations or whatever, because he said he served on it before. So then when Donnie came up with his little private list of who he wanted on the planning commission, Murray volunteered, he wasn't on council then, but he volunteered to be an alternate, and you volunteered to go to each meeting.
Way back, that was when I was, yeah, that was way back.
I found some stuff on this today, and I seen, I was looking for something else, saw it, or snaps and photos, and according to the city code 42.610, it's saying 7 members. That's what they're shooting for.
And there used to be some planning and zoning stuff. Monty, remember when we were trying to do something about the church and we were meeting with Mike Wake and stuff? There used to be some guidelines and rules to that.
Well, you got 5. So we can put 2 of the 3 on tonight if you want to. Who decides that? We do. We appoint them. How do we do it? Do we interview? Do we go out?
Remove the 2 that are here and make the
We
ones
just
not here
appointed,
and all.
yeah, we were lucky to have somebody that was interested in doing it that had qualifications.
Carlos. We were sitting out there. Yeah, because I was still on that.
So how do you want to decide between the 3? I, one alternate, 2 appointees.
That's how I would do it.
The 2 that are here and then the one that's not
Yeah.
here.
Two, 3 here.
I agree.
2 here.
The 2 that are here, Karen and Calvin, would you agree to be full-time members? Both agree? And you guys vote? You want to vote? And then we'll make the 3rd one alternate. Yes?
Do we need a motion or just vote?
I think just, yes, that we're all in agreement and appointing.
Aye.
We're going to appoint both of you.
Then you got a time to count.
3rd one's the alternate.
You're not getting my phone number.
It goes on the city's website.
No, Lyndall, you're not getting my phone number.
I got it now, buddy.
We'll have to have someone contact you.
Email.
For right now, we don't have a resolution drawn on, but I just want to make sure I got blessing that we're going to have her go ahead and draw one up for us to retain the, let's see, Sid Douglas of Gilmore and Bell was our bond counsel for the last grants. Yeah, we need him for the next bond, for the city, to proceed with the sewer work, the grants for the sewer work that
So
we're working on.
we're just looking at grants, we're not
Right,
entering into any agreement.
No, it's just we need a council that does the bond, that sells the bonds once we get the grant for the sewer work. So that's all I wanted to, with this agreement, that will get her going on the resolution. And what blindsided, but I'd say, well, that's what we used to have, well, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now we're down to mayor's minutes.
No, we have to do these 3.
Yeah,
the
Planning
and
zoning
zoning.
stuff.
We had amended that to add these.
Where did we amend it? I missed it. Oh, the new ones.
You did it.
All the new ones, sorry, we're not gonna get out of that quick.
We do need to do first and second readings of these. This is just the planning and zoning, what the planning and
So we need
zoning.
first and second reading. Okay, we got all 4 new ones. Bill 1376.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View, whereas Brad Glass has filed an application to rezone the property commonly known as 1109 State Route Y from R1 to AG. And whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting the requested rezoning of the above described real estate from R1 to AG. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter D, exceptions, section 42.635, amendments. Number 10, rezoning the following described property from R1 to AG.
And the,
Excuse me.
we don't have a zoning board, well, we do have a rep here. Do we need to ask her, or do you have the consensus from the zoning board on that?
We do, and if it's in your packet as well,
And recommendation is?
to approve.
Recommendation from the board is to approve.
I will make a motion to accept bill number 1376, ordinance 1744.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
Why are they wanting to change it back?
Yeah, it was ag in the past, for some reason they rezoned it to R1, but it's basically a hayfield.
Oh.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to have to get a citation from not being voted, essentially. I don't blame him.
Is there a house on the property?
There it is.
And that old, part of the old feed mill
It's
still there.
close to the old feed store, yeah.
And just to reiterate, planning and zoning said that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I know you said that, but I want to reiterate.
It's also right here. You've got it in your packet too.
Okay, I
The
could.
minutes are on the top.
Okay.
Yep.
Take too long to read it, so.
Yep.
Okay, vote
Aye.
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 passes. Bill 1377.
I need to do a second reading of 1376.
I'm not trying to hurry
She
you
was
up.
sliced.
Make it brief. Shorten it up.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View, whereas Brad Glass has filed an application to rezone the property commonly known as 1109 State Route Y from R1 to Ag. And whereas the city council has determined that there is need to amend the city code of ordinances in the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting the requested rezoning of the above described real estate from R1 to Ag. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter D, exceptions, section 42.635, amendments. 10, rezoning the following described property from R1 to Ag.
Motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept bill number 1376, ordinance 1744.
I'll second that.
Vote.
Aye.
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 Now it passes.
I need to do 1377.
Okay. Go.
Okay. An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View, whereas Stephen and Laura Clark have filed an application to be granted a variance from the city ordinance 43.120.3, and whereas it has been shown that substantial hardship would result from strict adherence to the ordinance, and granting a variance would not interfere with the preservation of the city's zoning claim, and whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting said variance to allow a garage to be constructed on the property located at 310 West 3rd Street, which will replace an existing garage that is currently located on the property in the same location. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter D, exceptions, section 42.635, amendments. Number 9, a variance is granted to allow a 26 by 60 garage to be constructed on the property at 310 West 3rd Street in the same location as a replacement for an existing 20 by 22 garage.
I'll make a motion that we accept bill number 1377, ordinance 1745.
I second it.
And discussion. And this too has been approved by the zoning board.
I went out and walked this property with Stephen, and it's not going to be a hardship on anybody to do it. There's an alleyway there. Doesn't look like it gets used, but he's not going to encroach on that. It's just right on the property line, so giving him a variance, I think, is the best way to do it.
I'd almost say that originally when that was built, that alleyway probably wasn't there.
Right.
So originally it was probably off the property line, like it should have been, and then they put the alleyway in.
Further discussion? Vote.
Aye.
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 One more time. Whereas Stephen and Laura Clark have filed an application to be granted the variance from the city ordinance 43.120.3, and whereas it has been shown that substantial hardship would result from a strict adherence to the ordinance, and granting a variance would not interfere with the preservation of the city's zoning plan. Whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting said variance to allow a garage to be constructed on the property located at 310 West 3rd Street, which will replace an existing garage that is currently located on the property in the same location. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter D, exceptions, section 42.635, amendments. Number 9, a variance is granted to allow a 26 by 60 garage to be constructed on the property of 310 West 3rd Street in the same location as a replacement for an existing 20 by 22 garage.
It's actually 319. The address is 319, not 310.
Okay.
Oh, that one's not good.
Yeah, that's what was in the minutes, so that's what she went off of. So let's do it 319.
I will make a motion that we accept bill number 1377, ordinance 1745.
Second that.
Any further discussion? Vote.
Aye.
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 Passes. Bill 1378.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View, whereas Simmons Bank and the Mountain View Birch Tree School District has filed an application to divide 2 lots in order to create a 3rd lot in order for Simmons Bank to separate off a building to donate to the Mountain View Birch Tree School District. And whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting the requested subdivision. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter D, exceptions, section 42.635, amendments. Number 8, subdivision by Simmons Bank to allow for the creation of the following described lot.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to accept bill number 1378, ordinance number 1746.
I'll second that.
Seconded. Discussion?
Yes, this is approved by the planning.
This is
The
the
only question I have.
bank bill.
Yes. The one they gave to the school.
Separated from the bank. Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
An ordinance amending the city code of ordinances for the city of Mountain View. Whereas Simmons Bank and Mountain View Birch Tree School District have jointly filed an application to divide 2 lots in order to create a 3rd lot in order for Simmons Bank to separate off a building to donate to the Mountain View Birch Tree School District. And whereas the city council has determined that there is a need to amend the city code of ordinances of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, granting the requested subdivision. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, that chapter 42 of the city code of ordinances be amended to add the following paragraph. Chapter 42, zoning, subchapter D, exceptions, section 42.635, amendments. Number 8, subdivision by Simmons Bank to allow for the creation of the following described lot.
I'll make a motion that we accept bill number 1378, ordinance 1746.
And I second it.
Any further discussion? Vote.
Aye.
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 Passes. Okay, the other, I believe the last new thing is the pump station, which just came in. I want to make you guys aware of the, we're not in any emergency situation. We've got good setup. We did really good last year. We got it going good with the county commissioner's help, if you remember, $82,000 worth. The next pump station in line we had our yearly checkup by the pump company that we have under contract. And after the checkup, we're basically running it close on our next station. It's doable. Let's see what percentages were. It's like a 50-50 chance of making it to our next available funding for replacing the pumps at the next worst pump station. And that is Southern Hills. It has one bad. It's basically done. The other pump is good. It's one of our good ones, and pretty good ones. One's gonna, they think it might make it, it's 50-50 chance of making it 2 years, and I'm giving them 2 years because it's gonna take us 2 years to get close to getting our sewer system underway, the new that we're working on right now, and the money is included in that 2 years from now. But we would, if the 50-50 one goes bad in 2 years, the other one's very bad, we can rob one from the Burning Tree, because one of our two brand new ones, and the one there can handle Burning Tree without any problem, one can. And then that'll suffice until get us over and get us into that at least 2 year from now project. Then the Country Meadows has got a better chance, 75% chance of making it 2 years. So we're gambling a little. It's not too bad. I'm not saying we're in any dire need, there's no emergency. But the reason I brought it up was, while they were at it, I had them put together, since they're the only ones available to handle these pumps in our area, and that's why we used them last time, of what they had in stock. And they have everything they need in stock to install the pumps that are going to go bad within the next 2 years, possibly, up to a 25% chance of one. So the price would be $46,000 at this time. They have everything in-house. Now, if they're sold in between now and we decide this, we can decide this in December, it doesn't matter. But if their pumps are gone, if their stock is gone, right now, it changes every week, but the pumps we can still order the same pumps, of course, the new good ones. Could be about $7,500, $6,500 plus shipping, about $7,500 more. So from $46,000, it would go up $7,500. So we have an opportunity there to save $7,500, put in the new pumps and get it going, and not have to risk it at all over the next 2 years, or try to gamble. Now, I recommend that it's something we should look into, and you authorize me to look into getting a contract with them and then go from there. And so that even if we put it 10% down or something, get it locked in and go from there. And the reason I say that is because it won't be a waste of money, because we'll be ahead of the game. Even if we go with the grant and the project coming up in 2 years, that money can go towards another part of the project that we won't be able to afford at this time, but we would be able to afford at that time. And that is, the pumps wouldn't be, there's $90,000 figured in that project for the pumps. We're getting them for $46,000 right now, because we know that project's gonna be 2 years from now, so it's 90. But right now, we can get it for 46. If and when we get the grants and get our bond going, we sell the bonds and do the whole sewer project, then that next project, which is gravity draining Burning Tree over to Southern Hills? Country Meadows. Over to Country Meadows, and those pumps can handle it because they'll be brand new, of course. We can get that done, pull the 2 new pumps, which we just put into Burning Tree, brand new, this past spring, I believe it was. And they'll be our backup pumps for the other 2 stations for good. And we're good for the next 20 years. We will not have pump station worries. And the bonus there is both Burning Tree right now pumps to the west. And any further building to the west has been halted by our building department, so to speak, in the city, because we don't have sewer capacity, because we're pumping Burning Tree into their sewer side. But when it's gravity fed down to Country Meadows, that alleviates that. So on that side of 17, we'll have no room for additional. And then when we put the new pumps in over at Country Meadows and Southern, we're increasing the capacity there where we can actually build and have more sewer capacity there as well. So it'll actually be an extra bonus, so we have a whole area in town that we can actually stop the restriction of building right now because it's not being able to handle sewer. So I'm looking ahead, looking 2 years plus, but it gives us a little bit of a future there. So if I can work something out with them and get something started, and we can retain these at this price and get it going before we even worry about that 2-year contract, we're not gambling, first of all. The one, like I said, the one we're gambling bad because I know it's bad. One moment's bad. And the other one's 50-50. But we can rob one from Burning Tree and put it over into Southern Hills to make it work for now. But then we'll be, we're making it do for a few years.
Just my opinion of those, I think it's a good deal, and I don't care if you look into it, but I'm not willing to spend any money as far as me till we get the auto back.
I agree.
And then at that point, we can look at it, but right now, not till we get the auto back and we see where we're at. Because we put everything else on hold due to that, and that's $46,000, so. That's just my opinion, I don't know what you guys' opinion is.
No, I
It's
agree.
mine.
I agree.
Heard anything else on the audit?
Yes, we have.
The thing that needed to be signed was signed, did I say yesterday? Or an hour sometime this afternoon. They received it, so we're just waiting on them to send us the final documentation now. So, they said once they receive that from Deidre, then it would be within probably a week, they would have that
Yeah.
information to us.
So,
That was, I think this afternoon that I told you.
yeah.
So,
Very good. Okay, you're well aware of what Ben brought up to date, I should say. Okay. What's next? Now, can we go on to mayor's minutes? So, is there anything else before I proceed with mayor's minutes?
no, I think you can go now.
We're working on a lot of things. We already brought up earlier in the meeting, Robin, you did really good there. Thank you very much, helping the town out and helping that organization out with the CGMA. That was really good. I'm sure you have hopefully plenty of assistance from any and all organizations in town that can help.
Yeah, Eddie
We're
got
all-
woke up for.
We're all hands-on, all you have to do is ask, and I'm sure that we will come around. I know I did, you came around, asked if you needed any assistance or anything.
I saw you several times, I saw Miss Brenda several times.
And so
Good.
we want to see it here. It's everybody thing, everything going on in town. That's good. Monty had a little invitation for the board. Monty Williamson, would you come up, please?
This is just a presentation to bring the community up to date on what is going on with our organization up there. We've been working out of the Town and Country Supermarket building, the old Town and Country Supermarket building now, for less than a year, but 9 months, something of that nature. And this all started out, it is now known as the Mountain View Community Outreach Center. It started out, the Church of God up here in Mountain View did a clothing giveaway. We had a couple of times that we had the clothing giveaway, and each time it grew a little more. We didn't have the facilities to take care of it, so I contacted Troy Smith, and he was about the Town and Country building, and he was kind enough to basically give us, we called it rent, but it was cheap enough, it was free to us basically, for us to get started. This thing has grown, we didn't have any idea. We knew it was getting bigger than our church could handle, support, but we had no idea what God had in store for us when we went to the Town and Country Supermarket building. The community has embraced us really good with a huge bunch of the community has, and I'm just wanting to bring it to your attention now what we do. But we have from time to time, and they are planned dates for clothing giveaways, and we give away the last probably the last 4 of them that we've had. We've given away somewhere in the neighborhood of anywhere from 9,000 to 13,000 items of clothing to the communities around. And this community that I'm talking about here, it actually, we've had people that from Wright County to Butler, Reynolds County, Texas County to the Arkansas line. In fact, even a community or two just south of the Arkansas-Missouri border down there has come up to take part in this and get some clothing and what have you. It has turned out to be a very, very huge deal. We are, I will say that we are looking for some funding for the building, whatever. That's got to come at a little later point. We have since taken it out of the church's control there. And we have started a corporation and already are incorporated. Betty Hockman is working with us. She's already got the information sent in to get our 501c3 I can't think of the word, nonprofit status. That has not come back to us yet, so we're still working on that. But anyhow, we do our very best, and that's one of the reasons I'm here tonight. We know that there are some in the community that have not discovered what we do down there. We do our very best to work with Sheltered Workshop people. We've got Sheltered Workshop down at Alton, Missouri that comes up, and we furnish them with some stuff. We have nursing homes that come in if they have a resident that doesn't have anything, or if the parents or whoever or the children have put them in a nursing home and they don't have anything, they don't have any clothes, they don't have anything basically. They come up and get stuff. The Department of Family Services, and I'm using that term a little bit loosely because I don't know the exact wording of that department. But when you have children that maybe are being taken out of their home, when the law comes in and takes them out of their home and puts them in a foster home somewhere because the environment that they deem is not good for the children to be there, they just literally pick those kids up and take them out, take them to the foster home, and the foster people do not have not 1 ounce of clothing, nothing for them. They bring them to us, we see to it that they're clothed. Excuse me. But our outreach does take in a very large area. It's not just Mountain View proper or anything like that. We've got these organizations that we help. We are open. Normal hours are 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock, Monday through Friday. We get lots of donations in up there. The whole business is donated items, clothing, yard sale stuff. It's all donations, nothing's paid for. And the people that are working this are kind enough to work it free of charge. Our labor is every bit free there. So it's one of those deals that I don't know that we can do it any cheaper. Now, I guess we could pay one another out of our pocket just to get to work there or something. But it is a very, very unique situation that we have there. Our funding, now, we didn't plan all this yard sale items and all of that whenever we went up there. But when we got there, the people started donating, the community started donating, brought it in to us. So we set up a deal. We have to pay rent on our building now. It was basically free to begin with, but it's not anymore. We've got rent, we've got insurance we have to pay, we have city utilities that we have to pay. You know, we just pay the bare minimums here on stuff, and we've got just a little bit of a bank account, but in order to really go all the time, but we sell those yard sale items up there. We have an area fenced off, plastic off, I'll use that word. We built a plastic wall in there that it really divides it up and makes it nice, I'll tell you for sure. But anyhow, we do that, we sell that, and there's some furniture that's brought in also, stuff like that. We sell that. Now, virtually everything in there is 20 or 25 cents on the dollar of any value to it. It's a bargain to begin with. But I want to back up and say that if we take care of people that have a burnout or some disaster, weather disaster, tornado, anything that is needed, if they come to us, and the clothes are always free, but the yard sale items, the furniture, all of that we have on sale if they need it, they get it for free. We give that to them first, and then we charge later of anything that we might have. Anyhow, that's what we do, and there's a whole bunch of people out there in the world that we figure out every day don't even know what's going on in there. They say, boy, there's a lot of activity up there around that Town and Country supermarket, but I've never stopped in to see what it is particularly. And we're just wanting to get the community on board with us on it, because there's going to have to be some funding eventually down the road. We want everybody to know what we're doing and what we've got going on right there. And so tonight's little speech, and I haven't even covered it, we're open. I gave you the hours that we're normally open, but we're open 24/7, 365 days a year. If the law enforcement, if the nursing homes, if any of these things that we have just mentioned here need anything, we've got phone numbers, and people, my wife included, is one of them, come to town, open up, and personally take the people back through whatever they need, and we get it for them in these emergency cases. So it's a deal that we're trying to, serve a need as best we know how to serve that need. And the main reason for my visit tonight was to tell you a little bit about what we're doing up there. And instead of driving down 5th Street and saying, boy, that Town and Country bunch up there, they look like they have a pretty good deal going on right now, or something like that, I want to invite you at your own leisure, come up there and ask for, hey, I'd like to have a tour of this place and just see what goes on. And the volunteers will give you a personal tour back through there. We have all of that stuff for sale up front. Don't let that intimidate you. And when you walk in the back where we've got it stored, don't let that intimidate you, because that'll scare you to death, the amount of stuff that's been donated. But when you walk on back around to where we have our clothing giveaways, and we have these clothing giveaways, I'll back up and skip. We have about 3 of those scheduled a year. We got one coming up here at the end of this month, and it's the back to school clothing, and it's like the 25th and 26th, maybe. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's what it is. But people come in. We have worked clothes, the ladies, volunteer work, volunteer labor, work down there diligently. We get clothes in, we put them through the washing machine and dryer, of course, and size them all, inspect them all. If they've got a hole in them or a stain on them, we put them in a different category so that they can go to Alton, basically to Alton's sheltered workshop area. They want that kind of stuff. They come up and get 2 or 3 truckloads a week of stuff like that going back. But we deal in stuff that is lightly used, that people would want to wear to school, kids would want to wear to school, adults would want to wear, and that's all free, but we try to save that for the giveaways, unless there's somebody got an emergency like a burnout or something of that nature, and then we'll take them back there. Kids that's taken out of families, we take them back there and we clothe them. Whatever's needed. Just wanted you to know what's happening. Brenda, Stephen, Lendell, John, Sarah, you two. I want you to come down to Town and Country store, the old Town and Country, and Eddie, you too. Don't you start living off there, boy. And the rest of you, I just want you to know you're welcome, and we want very much to let you see what we're going on, what we're about. It's not any kind of a big secret, and we need to have everybody know what we got going on. Come down and see us and take a tour. And I think, I thought that I would be really good for tonight's deal. I'd be all fresh. And Sarah over here read me some bedtime stories tonight. I just almost couldn't stay awake. I mean, I was having troubles back there with her bedtime stories. But anyhow, nonsense, foolishness, whatever. We're not foolishness down there. We're playing with real stuff and real people's lives. And we want you to come down and see what we've got going. That's it, buddy.
Mikey, this is called what?
What's the name of it?
It's the Mountain View Community Outreach Center.
I'm excited to have you in town.
Yes, please, any of you, and I'm serious about that. I know some of you will probably do that, and some of you may not. But the ones that don't come down to see it are the losers in this deal, because you'll be impressed if you come down to see what's going on down there.
It would have been nice this Christmas when we were scrambling to help the homeless.
Well, we have the giveaway here at right before school. That's what it originally started for, was to give children a chance at having clothes to go to school or something a little bit better. And then it turned down, well, we was having so many donations, we need to do something else. So we had started having one around Christmas time, because there's a lot of donations with kids' toys, stuffed animals, as well as clothing and stuff. And we have it real close to Christmas time. Then we have another one in the spring of the year, getting ready for summer, those summer clothes that get turned in and everything. The ladies really, they do an enormous amount of work. They sincerely do. I don't know how they do it. My wife comes home, and the poor lady, she retired from real estate, and now is coming back to work every day down at the center down here, and comes home after having walked 3 miles that day, or 4 miles that day on a concrete floor in there, back and forth, hanging up clothes and getting everything all put together right. Come down and see us. You'll be impressed, folks.
Thank you.
Serious.
Thank you, Monty.
Monty, do you guys still take donations for food and non-perishable items for people as well?
We do. That's not as big as most of the things that we do, but we do have a section for that, yes.
And is there any problem? I mean, I drop bags off up there all the time and just leave it out front, and I noticed it's gone later on that day.
It is, you know, every weekend, we have to go by there Saturdays and Sundays, especially if it's rainy type deal, and get them put inside, because there'll be a whole bunch of it left in there right along the wall. And then you get there on Monday morning, and there will be somewhere around 1, 2, or 4, or 5 pickup loads of stuff that people have done something, they've cleaned out something, and let's face it, I mean, they bring it to us, and we know they're taking advantage of us a little bit. They're giving us some stuff that we really can't use, but they don't realize that Alton's Sheltered Workshop, they want some of that stuff, and so we load it up. We sort through what we can use and what's good and all of that, and these ladies are down there working. There's about 6 ladies, and we, besides coming to City Hall, I'm trying to get around to visit some other churches. We've got 2 churches that a couple of the ladies come in and volunteer their labor. May not be but 1 day a week, but that's okay. We need that kind of help. But I'm here to tell you, these ladies do an enormous amount of work down there. Come and see us. Come and see us. I'll not bore you anymore. Sarah can get back to her bedtime stories now. You guys be all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Monty.
I wanted to ask Police Chief how we're doing on the new hires.
So we ended up having 5 openings. We've hired 2 guys that's already commissioned officers. They have both already started. We've hired 1 cadet, and we are still interviewing for 2 more positions later this week.
Good progress.
Good job.
I got to see your new car you got, and that's pretty impressive.
It is nice.
Yes. We will get signs on it soon. I know people have said that car needs signs. We will. We're going to, once we get both of them out, we're going to get signs together. We are going to do a little bit of a redesign. Instead of just a circle, we're going to have police. So, also.
Thank you. Well, miraculously through most of it today, we did good. We covered most everything I wanted to cover in my minutes. We did have a Missouri Intergovernmental Risk Management Association, MIRMA. We belong to that. It's our insurance for the city. And our rates are based on our inspections, et cetera, get good, get bad, and all this stuff. Recently, we've just had our inspection. I have the reports here. We did very well. Our staff throughout the city, all of our crews, been doing really good because they watch our crews, see if they're wearing the hard hats. They safety vests, they look how they're doing, they basically just surprise inspection. They check our playgrounds for safety hazards, etc. We have some all minor violations of a little more padding here, a little more there, but no problem. Nothing major, we're looking good. I'm impressed with basically the city employees. They did a really good job of doing that. And then Eddie had the opportunity to going to the latest conference, and he can enlighten you on what went on there.
So, I didn't get to attend the whole thing, but what I did get to go to, it was very informational. It was, the day I went to was focused more toward, leadership training and loss prevention, but they awarded the City of Mountain View with a plaque, on most improved loss prevention evaluation score. So, as you know, overall, I'll give this to you guys. So, you know, overall, and I don't know exactly how many cities they have, but there was 3 cities selected for the most improved score throughout the year. So,
Good job.
Basically, that's the city employees. Done good. And that's, I believe, unless I'm missing anything I have. Is there anything someone needs to bring up of importance tonight? Everybody's good. Then I'm going to look for a motion to go into closed session. We have a small item or two to discuss.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session. According to RSMO 610.021.
We got a motion, we got a second. Vote.
Aye.
5-minute recess before we go into closed session.